We do have another cautionary tale right now. It's about a choir practice in Washington State that took a tragic turn. Despite practicing social distancing, 45 people who showed up have now tested positive or are showing symptoms of coronavirus, and 2 members have died. Eva Pilgrim has the latest. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, George. When this choir decided to have practice, people were talking about coronavirus, but no one in their county had gotten sick yet. What they couldn't see was the virus was already there. They just didn't know it. This morning, they're warning to people everywhere.
A Washington choir practice turns deadly.
All the indications for us were that we didn't have to worry yet. There were no cases in Skagit County reported at that point.
When choir director Adam Burdick planned their Tuesday, March 10th practice, no warnings were out. The day of their practice, that changed.
The very morning of this meeting, we had a Board of Health meeting, County Board of Health meeting, and we had declared a public health emergency, and we had made social distancing recommendations. But that wasn't information that was disseminated yet.
The choir, seen here in this photo from 2019, was unaware of the changes and went on with rehearsal.
Well, we had sent out a broadcast email to everyone in the group that said, if you are ill, don't come to the rehearsal.
We were greeted with hand sanitizers. Nobody shared music.
We set up folding chairs for our rehearsals, and those were set up with 3 times the distance between chairs as we normally have.
3 days later, on Friday, the first signs of coronavirus.
I had a headache. My husband had this fever would reoccur.
I heard from 20 people probably within a day or two that they were all getting sick also.
Now, nearly 3 weeks later, 45 of the 60 people who came to that choir practice have either been diagnosed with COVID-19 or have gotten sick with the symptoms. 3 have been hospitalized, 2 are dead.
It can just happen. That's scary.
The choir's story once again raising concerns this virus could be airborne, but ER Dr. Darren Sutton says that is not the case, instead saying it's likely someone in the group was asymptomatic.
The act of singing is expelling respiratory droplets. If you can imagine, you take a deep breath when you sing and you expel air while you're actively singing. This can expose people near you to the virus very easily.
And the choir agreed to talk to us this morning because they want people to know how contagious this is. All of those members telling us they didn't realize that singing would put them more at risk, and they want people to know, take these warnings seriously, even if you aren't seeing it in your area yet. Robin.
Our hearts go out to them. All right, Eva, thank you. Dr. Jennifer Ashton is going to join us now from her home. And when you hear this heartbreaking story like this, and people are asking questions because they were social distancing. They were using hand sanitizers, yet the outcome was what it was. And many people want to know why.
Well, Robin, we don't exactly know. Remember, we're still learning about the transmission dynamics of this virus, but there are a couple of theories. Number one, you may remember we've heard a term called super spreader. That's where one person is more likely to infect many, many others. So we don't know if that was at play here. We saw it in South Korea. It may be at play right now in India. The other thing is, and you heard it before, we're not sure whether this is respiratory droplets, aerosolized, airborne. It's really just semantics, because we do know that with singing, those particles can travel a distance. And again, a lot of people are asymptomatic and they can still spread the virus.
Yeah, we've got to keep all of that in mind. The FDA improving a new test. The results can come back in 5 minutes. This sounds like a real game changer, Jen.
It is, Robin, and those devices are being shipped as we speak. So this will enable testing. It's called point-of-care testing, to be done at urgent care centers, doctors' offices, takes the burden off sending a specimen to a lab. And it's so important to get that result back quickly, so then we can go through the steps of identify, isolate, diagnose, and treat. So a lot hinging on that information. It should make a huge difference.
And the FDA issuing an emergency authorization for those anti-malaria drugs. I mean, just explain a little bit more about that, the impact of that.
Well, first of all, I mean, we've heard that they're used for malaria, but they're also used for people with rheumatoid arthritis and lupus, and in combination with the antibiotic azithromycin, used together, this emergency use authorization will enable doctors to prescribe this to hospitalized adults and teens with COVID-19. There's very little data on this, Robin, so we need these clinical trials. We don't know if they're safe in COVID patients, but they are safe for use in other conditions, so a lot of eyes will be on that.
That is encouraging. All right, Jen, you take care there at home. Thank you.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.